to me, and I'm glad that you know you won't finish me. You won't even get close. But don't worry. There won't be enough.
I don't gotta
time
worry
for you to
about finishing.
think about.
Your coach will finish you in the back like you're used to. Don't worry about that. You're gonna get finished that night. Your coach got you.
Bro, why are you so angry? Bro, you think your dad beat the shit out of you? Your dad doesn't have shit on me. I'm gonna show you what it's like to beat you. I mean, every childhood memory you have is gonna come back when I'm in there with you. Every single one, the one where you lie in bed at night, where your dad comes in and he beats the shit out of you.
I will take your soul. You understand me? You yeah, you laugh, you faggot.
Yeah. Oh, I got a nerve. I see. I hit a nerve there.
Yeah, you did hit a nerve. You go ice your ankle. You coward.
Oh.
But coming into this one, the pressure's on Sean Strickland. He beat Israel Adesanya, he shocked the world, he became the champion and achieved a lifelong dream, okay? But then he lost the belt in the very first defense, and that sucks as a fighter, sucks as a champion.
I think DDP is the favorite going into the fight. Do you think that's the right call there, or do you think Strickland should be favored? Because some people felt like he won the last fight.
Yeah, of course it was a exceptionally close last fight. But the fact is, DDP is a champion. You know, he's beaten Izzy in the last one as well. You have to rate him for that. Regardless of how close the fights are, he's the one that keeps getting the result in the end. So I understand why you'd peg him as the favorite.
See, I think Du Plessis will win that. I think Du Plessis will make the adjustments to Sean Strickland that you can argue that he lost that fight. I think he'll make the adjustments against Sean Strickland to do better in the fight, whereas I think Sean Strickland's going to come in like, oh, I won the last fight, I'm going to go out there and do it again.
The bottom line is he did enough. The judges felt, the people that matter felt he did enough. There's some really good things that we did in that fight that we can add on to. There's some things that I feel like we got away from that we need to try to implement more of. So, and I also know DDP pretty well, and I know he's going to come out with something new and something fresh and something creative that's going to throw a wrench in everything or do something that we're going to have to make some adjustments on. So I can't wait.
The Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland fight has become one of the most heated and highly anticipated rivalries in the past few weeks, and that's why the fans can't wait to watch their clash at the main event of UFC 312. Both fighters took a little dig at each other in the press conference before their fight. Sean Strickland warned the champ that he will finish him at UFC 312.
I can't wait to get out there and try to shorten this man's life for you guys. As of always, I appreciate you to the death, Dutchman.
On the other hand, Dricus Du Plessis is no short of confidence as he challenged the fans of Strickland in the arena that he will once again smash Strickland like he did in their first encounter.
So many people, Perth is kicking your ass. You boo like losers. Tomorrow night, just like in Perth, I'm gonna take your boy out. Enjoy the cheers while you still can, boys.
The MMA pros have also given their final verdict for this fight. Joe Rogan wants the former champion Sean Strickland to get the job done at UFC 312. Joe thinks that Strickland won the first fight between these two and now he should take his revenge. According to Joe Rogan, a Sean Strickland win would be more interesting because it might open the gate for a potential Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya fight.
I want him to lose so bad. I'm gonna watch every fight that he's in. You know?
So him and Sean Strickland, the rematch is going to be very interesting because I thought Sean won the first fight. I thought it was real close, but I thought Sean won.
I think Sean beats him in the rematch.
Really?
I think not only does he beat him, I think he's going to beat him bad.
Then you go Sean Izzy too. I'm happy with that.
Michael Venom Page, who recently defeated Shara Magomedov at the co-main event of the recent Saturday fight night, has shared his verdict for this fight. He believes that the middleweight division is quite easy at the moment. Page also thinks that Sean Strickland has an awkward style and it won't be easy for the champion Du Plessis to take down Strickland.
Again, I feel middleweight's in a similar place to actually the welterweight division at the moment where things can move quite easy. Strickland is a very awkward fighter because he just walks forward. He's happy to kind of take a shot and he's hard to hit, similar to myself, but in a very different way because of his Philly shell style, which you don't really see in MMA. It's very hard to kind of land something clean, but at the same time, he's very good at wrestling. It's going to be very hard to take him down and keep him down.
Michael Venom believes that it is going to be a very entertaining fight as both are good fighters. Michael even thinks that he doesn't see anything special in the champion Dricus Du Plessis, but it is surprising how he still manages to win every time. Michael Page believes that the middleweight division is wide open for everybody because there is not much competition in there.
It's a great fight to watch. So I think that it may even move hands again, but for some reason, because it's weird, like when I look at DDP, I've never looked at him and thought anything special of him, but he always seems to just win. One thing he just knows how to do is scrape out the win, regardless of how he performs, because I've seen him do some technically really bad things during the fight. But still, like I said, he just knows how to, he's just a tough guy. He just knows how to grind out the result. So again, you can never put him down. But yeah, I feel like the middleweight division is wide open for everybody.
However, the UFC Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier doesn't think that Dricus Du Plessis will win as he is backing Strickland at UFC 312. The former UFC champion believes that Strickland is a beast and would be hard to beat. He feels that after such a close first fight at UFC 297, Strickland would be hoping to get his revenge and he will give his all in this fight. The UFC legend looked excited for this fight and was hoping to get a good close fight. Daniel Cormier said, Sean Strickland is a monster too. They had a very close fight last time. These guys are going to battle for the middleweight championship. That's a fun fight. It was very fun last time. I wonder who's going to make that adjustment. Meanwhile, the former flyweight champion Demetrius Johnson feels Dricus Du Plessis would easily defend his title at UFC 312. Demetrius Johnson seems to be a fan of the unique style of Du Plessis, and he thinks with the kind of experience the South African fighter has, he should beat Sean Strickland for the second time in his career. The Mighty Mouse thinks that the middleweight champion has a very unique style, and it won't be easy for Sean Strickland to take down Du Plessis, and the result of this rematch would be similar to their first encounter.
Even though what Sean Strickland does is very, very good and it's very hard to deal with, but I think DDP has that right style to deal with that because he is going to put up that high guard and he is going to see those shots coming and he's going to get welted up. You know, he might bruise easily and get a mouse over his eye, but at the same time, I think he's fought him before and he's experienced it, and it's not like it's going to be something totally new. He knows what to expect. And so for that, I'm going to go with DDP.
The UFC featherweight fighter Steve Garcia has a different opinion because he is confident that Sean Strickland will win this fight. He was confident that Strickland was also the winner of their previous encounter, and the judges made a mistake there. Steve Garcia said, I'm going with Strickland by decision. I thought he won the first fight and will get the win here. Moreover, another strong contender of the middleweight division, Khamzat Chimaev, thinks that the current champion will stay the champion after this fight. Khamzat feels that Du Plessis knows that his belt is on the line and would try his best not to lose it and stay the champion. Khamzat also added that Strickland will not care about winning or losing because his focus would be on getting money from this fight.
I think now it's going good for Du Plessis. I think he's more motivated, getting more money, and he's happy with that. So he will fight for his belt. So I think I go a little bit for that. Sean being there, and I don't think so he care about if he wins, he lost, you know. So yeah, he just fight and have money.
On the contrary, Jamal Pogues picks his friend Sean Strickland to get his title back at UFC 312. He feels Strickland deserves to win the title because he is training hard for that. Jamal praises Strickland's personality as a UFC fighter and a normal person. Jamal Pogues believes Strickland would take his revenge and beat Du Plessis in Sydney, Australia.
Listen, I got to go with Sean Strickland. That's my guy. I've been knowing him for the last 10 years. You know, you can tell he's definitely matured from winning the belt. Like, I know everybody talks shit about him, but Sean Strickland's a great dude. He's one of the nicest people in the world, man. And you can definitely see a change in his demeanor, the way he talks. Even some of the talks that we have, you know, it's quick and it's short. And I love where he is mentally, not just in fighting, but where he is in life. Where he is in life right now in his head, I love it. So I'm going with Dricus. I mean Strickland. Sorry, Strickland.
The longtime UFC heavyweight contender Jairzinho Rozenstruik also made a prediction for this fight as he picks Du Plessis to retain his title. He thinks that the South African fighter would win this fight. He believes that the first encounter between these two was a close one and is expecting something similar again. He knows that this fight will also be a close one and Du Plessis will once again emerge victorious. Jairzinho Rozenstruik said, "The first fight was very close, but I think Dricus Du Plessis wins again. I think it will be close again, but I think DDP will keep the belt in another close fight." Tim Welch is also excited about this main event. He acknowledges the skillet and style of Dricus Du Plessis. He thinks that Du Plessis is dominating in the middleweight division without having any special style or technique. Welch feels that the champion usually starts on the back foot, but his body language completely changes in the final rounds, making him even more dangerous.
Man, it's so weird that Dricus gets away with what he does. He's such, his rhythm is so like blocky and robotic, and if you watch his footwork, if you watch his chin floats up, he just doesn't do anything on paper that's right, but he gets away with it. He's so explosive. He's such a strong, good athlete. And you saw Sean Strickland saying, hey, let's figure this out like men. Let's stand toe to toe. So Dricus, in the second round, in the third round, it'll look like he's completely fatigued and he's taking big gasps of wind. And usually when people start to do that, it starts to go downhill. But give him about 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and he just turns it back up. He ramps it back up.
So Tim Welch has picked Dricus Du Plessis to beat Sean Strickland in their rematch. Welch further elaborated that the style of both fighters would be a key factor in their fight. He is excited for this clash and knows that the champ has a better style and a greater chance of win.
I think Dricus might get it done again. I think he's going to get the takedowns. I don't think he'll be able to hold Sean Strickland down, but I do think the way Sean Strickland stands up so tall, it makes it easier for Dricus to blitz in with his punches and blitz in with his takedowns. It's almost like Sean Strickland would have to just change his stance up a little bit, just lower his level, widen his stance out a little bit more athletic, so you could shut down those shots. So I mean, I'm excited for the fight, but I do think Dricus might get it done by decision.
On the contrary, Davey Grant, who competes in the UFC bantamweight division, is confident that Sean Strickland will have an upper hand over Du Plessis at UFC 312. He also believes that Strickland won the previous encounter between these two at UFC 297, but he was robbed there, so Davey wants Strickland to be more aggressive this time and dominate his opponent. Davey Grant said, "I'm going with Strickland. I thought he won the first one, and I think he can keep it standing and land more shots to win a decision." The tension is electrifying as both fighters have good support, but the result will depend on how they perform in the cage. So that's why Modestas Bukauskas thinks Du Plessis has a greater chance to win because of his physique, power, and style. The UFC light heavyweight fighter backed the current champion to defend his title at UFC 312. Bukauskas thought Du Plessis would once again win his fight via a decision. Modestas Bukauskas said, "I think Dricus will win a decision again. He mixes his striking and wrestling well and is too well-rounded for Strickland." However, Terrence McKinney has different thoughts as he is backing Strickland to get back his title on February 8th. According to McKinney, Strickland was the winner in their previous fight as well, but this time he will not depend on anyone else and will get the job done against Du Plessis via decision. Terrence McKinney predicted Sean Strickland by decision. I thought he won the first fight. Furthermore, the UFC middleweight fighter Andre Petroski is cheering for Dricus Du Plessis to retain his title at UFC 312. Petroski said that he doesn't like the style of Du Plessis, but he knows how to win. According to Petroski, the grappling Du Plessis is a bit unrated, but he uses it as his secret weapon to win most of his fights. Again, and this time he is showing his confidence in the striking and pace of Du Plessis.
You know, I keep going against Du Plessis, and I think I'm one of those guys that has to just stop, because every time I think he's gonna falter, he comes in there and he grabs another gear. He uses his gas tank on folks and really pushes that pace, and he obviously freaking hits hard too, so I'm going to go with Du Plessis.
However, Terrence McKinney has different thoughts as he is backing Strickland to get back his title on February 8th. According to McKinney, Strickland was the winner in their previous fight as well, but this time he will not depend on anyone else and will get the job done against Du Plessis via decision. Terrence McKinney predicted Sean Strickland by decision. I thought he won the first fight. Furthermore, the UFC middleweight fighter Andre Petroski is cheering for Dricus Du Plessis to retain his title at UFC 312. Petroski said that he doesn't like the style of Du Plessis, but he knows how to win. According to Petroski, the grappling Du Plessis is a bit unrated, but he uses it as his secret weapon to win most of his fights.
I'll go with Du Plessis. Yeah. Although, like, I hate his style, I do think his grappling is a little underrated. I think he might be able to get some grappling in on Strickland.
On the other hand, the UFC lightweight fighter Cody Steele wants Strickland to beat Du Plessis and get the title. Cody believes that this fight will be a close one like their previous fight, but the winner will be different this time. Cody Steele said, "That one is going to be tough, but I felt like every round was 50-50 in the first fight. I'll go with Strickland this time." The UFC lightweight fighter Nazim Sadikov is impressed with the performance of Du Plessis in recent times. He thinks that Du Plessis is enjoying his prime days, and it's not easy for anyone to beat him at the moment. According to Nazim, right now only the Russian fighter Khamzat Chimaev has the ability to beat Du Plessis in the middleweight division.
Every time I see this Sean's too short for him, this and that, it's like Dricus comes out and finds ways to win. I just think he's in his prime right now. He's an incredible athlete. He's not the prettiest looking. Everybody's criticized like how he's sloppy or whatever it may be, but he makes it work, man. He's a specimen. He's really like a brick house. I think he's gonna get the job done again. Just strictly from activity. I don't think it's because he can outbox Strickland or he can, beat Strickland on the feet. I think he's going to wrestle Strickland a lot. I think he's going to take away a lot of rounds with control time and all that stuff. And I think in the flurries, I think like Strickland is going to have some dangerous moments. But I think Du Plessis is going to be able to get the job done again. I just think he's in his prime. I think it's going to be very hard to beat him, unless your name is Khamzat Chimaev.
However, the bantamweight fighter Corey Sandhagen doesn't agree with Nazim, as he believes Sean Strickland will become the new champion after UFC 312. He feels Strickland will make a good comeback in this fight and show everyone he deserves to be the champion. Corey Sandhagen said, "I think Strickland will probably win that one. He is just too unorthodox for people to be able to prepare for, so I am going to go with Strickland." The UFC bantamweight fighter Vince Morales thought that the outcome of the rematch between Strickland and Du Plessis would be similar to their first encounter. Vince has predicted a victory for Du Plessis via decision, but he believed that the fight would be a close one. Meanwhile, Grant Dawson is both impressed and amazed at the style of Du Plessis. He knows he will win at UFC 312, but the lightweight fighter is shocked at how Du Plessis manages to win every time despite having such a poor style. According to Dawson, Du Plessis is one of the most awkward fighters in UFC with a very bad style, but Dawson praises the ability of Du Plessis to win fights out of nowhere.
I gotta take DDP, and I think he's the worst fighter in the UFC. And he's the champion. He's so dang bad, but I can't, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Like, he's terrible. He's awful. You would not sit somebody. I'm a big film study guy, especially for younger guys. If you're a pup coming up in this sport, I tell people, other than being in the gym, the fastest way to get good at this sport is to watch film. And then I always say, but don't watch DDP, he sucks. And they're like, well, he's the champion. I was like, yeah, he's terrible. You see what I'm saying? I'm picking him. He's a winner, man. I'm picking DDP.
Similarly, former UFC champion Jan Blachowicz feels Du Plessis will win this fight, but he has to fight hard for it. It was not easy for Jan to pick a clear winner among the two because both are equally good fighters. However, Blachowicz said that the champ has the talent to win fights and beat anyone. He believes that the South African fighter is recently in good form, which will give him extra confidence before entering the cage. Jan Blachowicz said, "It's hard, because Strickland now, he caught something, He looks very good in his last fight, so 50-50, but I think Dricus will be a little bit better, and he is going to win." Well, these were some of the predictions from the pros of the sports, but we would like to know about your views on this fight. Who do you think will win between these two on February 8th? Share your predictions in the comments section and give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get instant notifications about our latest videos.